What up, what up, what up? Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That hashtag kyamsthoughts. Hit the like button, share, tell a friend. Today I'm going to be discussing Black history. Well, Black history that's not really discussed in school. You know, usually in school you hear about the same things: the Marcus Garveys, Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman. You hear about these people. That's all they tell us about our people, you know. But our history is so much richer, you know. It's crazy how whenever they show us pictures of Africa, you know, it's always equated with a guy running with a bone in his nose, you know, or somebody, a skinny child with a big stomach with flies stuck on their face, you know, or someone running around with a plate in their lip, you know, someone walking a hyena, you know. It's always a stereotypical and often negative portrayal of the African, you know. They show us living in huts, you know, in these little clay houses, you know. We have some of the most complex structures on the face of the earth. Not some of the most complex structures on planet Earth in Africa. Just look at the pyramids in Egypt. These are African structures. So how do we go from building these huge African monuments and structures to when they show us every time on TV, we're in a hut? We inside of a clay house. You know, this is the portrayal. It's like what they do, you know, they keep showing us in a negative light, in a primitive light. And to me, all that is warfare. All it is mental warfare, you know. If that's all you keep seeing, that's all you're going to think you are. That's what you're going to think your ancestry was all about. Running around with a bone in your nose, with a spear in your hand, chasing an elephant. But if you study on what Africa is, on the continent of Africa and who you are, you will know that this is the most fertile place in the world. Rich in minerals, diamonds, gold, fruits, vegetables, medicine, coal, anything you need to survive and for a people to live could be found on the continent of Africa. Today I'm going to talk about Ethiopia. Ethiopia is probably is the second most populous nation on the African continent. That's where Eritrea is. That's where Nipsey Hussle was from, by the way. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. He was from Eritrea, Ethiopia. And for those who don't know, Haile Selassie, who was the emperor of Ethiopia from 1930 through 1974, that's where he was from, Eritrea. Haile Selassie. Rest in peace. I seen a picture of Haile Selassie compared to Nipsey Hussle, and the resemblance was, like spot on. Look just alike. But anyway, we'll get back to that in another episode. But let me finish talking to you about Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, the rulers, the kings, guess what they was called? They was called Negas. Yes, Negas. Negasa Negas, which means King of Kings. They walked around calling each other Nega. When you hear the comedian Michael Blackson say, my nigga, everyone laughs. But it's a message, even in that what he's saying, if you choose to look for it. My niggas. Yes, you are my niggas. My king. And let me tell you, that word niggas, Negus, the definition of that means king or ruler or emperor of Ethiopia. Yes. My niggas, you were a king. We are descendants of kings. But of course, like any other word in history, it's going to be taken and misconstrued and used in a negative way. The way I played in my head was when our captors came over to Ethiopia to grab slaves, to kidnap our people from our land, they heard us. My nigga this, my nigga that. And the first thing they do was made fun. Get your nigga ass on the boat. Get on the boat, nigga. You nothing but a nigga. Not knowing even what they were saying. But of course, it turns into a contradictory, shameful, hurtful, misconstrued representation of the name nigga. In the Amharic language, Nigas means king of kings, and that was used to address Ethiopian emperors. So I start to think, with that being said, we had a land here full of emperors, kings, queens, coming from this land. And that word Niga was used all across the Horn of Northern Africa, And to hear us say, my nigga now, so fluently, we say nigga like it's just a part of our language. I know I'm the first one to say I have a habit of using the word myself. But we use it so fluently because it comes so natural to us. And as I started thinking, I'm like, maybe that's the reason why it comes so natural. It's on the tip of the tongue already. What we have to do now is present that meaning to people again. It's really a term of endearment if you know the correct meaning, the use of it. Like I said, we're from Africa, the most fertile and most fruitful place in the world. It's the land that flows with milk and honey. That's what the Bible was talking about. His people is from Africa. From Africa, the largest continent in the world. So, next time you use that word nigga, just think about it, Niggas. Think about what that really means. Let's try to change the narrative. Let's try to change our mindset when it comes to that word. Because it's definitely a word of empowerment. King, emperor, ruler. If we're gonna take something and make it ours, let's at least know the meaning and where it derived from. No nigga did not come from that word did not come from our captors. Our captors misconstrued and bent it to use it as a weapon towards us. This is why whenever they depict us in Black history, we're always in chains. Naked, chains around the neck, chains on the wrist. This is why they depict us to be so weak. This is why when we look at slavery movies, which is the only time they really show us, we're always in a submissive state. But we're kings. Let's do a little experiment, No disrespect to people of any other color. But you put a gold chain around my neck, put a gold chain around someone of the opposite color's neck, and you tell me, who looks better with that gold on? Where do that gold belong? Where do it belong? Tell me. Where do it belong? Where does it belong? You're kings. This is our right. It was made for us. It's from our land. It's our land. You could put a gold chain, a gold Rolex, a gold wherever on any Caucasian person and turn around and put it on that dark-skinned brother, that black brother. He don't even have to have on Versace. He don't have to have on Gucci. He could be wearing rags, and when you put that gold around his neck, he's going to look like royalty. Because it's ours. It's ours. It's our land. Yo, our skin is the most beautiful part. Is the most beautiful part. The same thing that people think plagues us and curses us. Our skin is a protector. You're super because you're black. You know? We absorb the energy from the sun. The skin is so beautiful. That's why in the movie Black Panther, if you've seen his suit, the Black Panther, his suit absorbed the energy whenever he got hit. It's the same thing we do with the sun. It's the same exact thing. You know, if you knew more, if you was more knowledgeable of what was going on, you was more knowledgeable of what was going on as far as who you are, where you're from, you know, you'll think more highly of yourself. Understand, knowledge is everything. Knowledge is the one weapon that we have that can't be taken away from us. But if you choose not to seek it, then you're just going to be lost. So people will be able to tell you everything. You know? We're so much bigger than the slave that they show getting whipped. You know, it's so much bigger than you just coming over here from a boat and working and picking cotton. You know? Yes, we are niggas. We all are niggas. Shout out to Michael Blackson because that really made me think. He says it so much he says it. And, you know, it's like everyone thinks it's funny and it's really not funny. You know, it's actually an educational moment. You know, we got to stop letting people drag us through and tell you who you are. See, no one's going to empower you so that you can overpower them. You have to pick up a book. You have to study. You have to care enough about yourself, about your ancestry to know who you are. See, all you got to do to defeat a people is take away who they is. If you don't know who you are, who's your enemy? Who's your enemy? Who's your friend? You don't even know where you're from. Let's get back to studying. Let's get back to greeting each other. Let's stop taking the negative that has been cast on us and placed on us as a weight. Let's lift that off of us. Let's be free again. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for listening. Please share this video. At least once a month, I'm going to bring up the discussion of another Black history fact. Again, to all my niggas out there, let's act like kings. Let's stop killing each other. Let's stop hurting each other. Let's stop worrying about who has more than that person, you know? Because as long as one of us got it, all of us got it. We have to change our mentality. Thank you.